Never forget the iPhone 13 mini. Hey everyone, I'm Rich. There's something very unique about this phone, and unfortunately due to low sales on the 13 and 12 mini the years before, I think the percentage is like making up only 3 to 5% of the total iPhones sold last year, which is pretty low. That's like saying out of 100 people who bought iPhones, only like 5 of them were the 13 minis. The Apple event that happened just yesterday, September 12, 2023, Apple removed the 13 mini off from the official website. Farewell, brother. I think this was a very terrific phone that just didn't get enough light and enough recognition. The small phone like the 12 and 13 mini reminded me of like the iPhone 5 days, where everything just felt so much lighter. You didn't feel like you were carrying this huge block of, you know, metal around your pockets and holding it all the time. Because back then, like 8 to 10 years ago, that was the standard phone size. Now the point of this video is I want to go over the best features, the best things I noticed about the iPhone 13 mini, and just overall what I thought about it during its time. And yes, at the end of the day, numbers do matter. So if you're not selling enough of these iPhone 13 minis, you know, why keep at it? Also, before we get into it, go down in the comment section and tell me what you think about the 13 mini. Hit that subscribe button for your boy. Okay, we're trying to reach 10,000 subscribers, and let's get right into it. Alright, let's just talk about its design. This was a very calculated process. Everything about the 13 mini was done on purpose. It was a beautiful, very cute phone. I think the 13 mini was very functional too, from the squared off edges and boxy waterproof IP68 design to its nice, lightweight, yet shiny, durable Gorilla Glass back and front screen. It has a very smooth and lightweight aluminum build, and this pretty much makes it the same as the regular iPhone 13. But smaller, of course, and that is important, because it just fits so much better in my hand. I can't remember the last time I was able to like easily text with one finger and just firmly grasp this phone.
Firmly grasp it in your hand.
All throughout. I felt it was so durable. I felt like it was less droppable. I think I have some medium to average size hands. I don't think it's large by any means. When I was in the car, and I don't really encourage this by the way, but if I had to send a quick text message or changing music, it was so easy to just whip it out, do it with one thumb. It slipped easily in my pocket. It was so nice to pull it out. It was quick. It was super lightweight. Okay, coming in at around 141 grams. Oh my goodness. These phones were just as light as those like iPhone 7 days, you know, the 6, the 5. Back when phones didn't feel like a brick compared to today. It's really refreshing to go back to something like this in my opinion. The 13 mini's display is also very spectacular since we are working with a smaller 5.4 inch OLED panel here. The pixel density on this is amazing. Since everything is a little bit smaller, the pixels are crammed a little bit more, resulting in a sharper picture. Everything from the app icons and user interface looked mini, but it was just as sharp. If not, just a little bit sharper I've noticed than compared to something like the 13. The display had nice vibrant colors that were punchy, vibrant. It was true to its deep blacks. It was rich. When I played something like Dragon Ball Legends, I was impressed about how well the phone rendered the saturated color palettes. The game looked nice. Sure, it's lacking a 120Hz screen. We all know that Apple likes to save that for the Pro models. The 13 mini can get up to a max brightness of 800 nits, and with HDR content going up to a peak of 1200 nits, on a bright and sunny day, I can still use this phone. When I'm outside with the sun laser beams that's shooting straight down on it, I have no trouble viewing this during the daytime. This phone was packing a lot of punch in a small package. This is great especially for shooting photos or videos outside. You can actually see the photos you took without having to struggle. Also, the bezels are super thin here and they're really not that distracting to me. The notch isn't that large either in my opinion. I believe they strike a nice balance of screen estate, and those thin bezels add to its overall class as a phone. And as far as the Apple A15 Bionic Chip that's on here, I reviewed it a lot before in my previous iPhone videos, but on the mini, I think it makes nearly every experience better, from photo editing to power intensive operations like gaming and augmented reality on such a small device. Plus with the added 5G connectivity support, we were essentially prepared for the future here. I will say as far as the thermals go, if I played any games or had FaceTime calls or anything like that past like 20 to 25 minutes, the phone did get noticeably hot since you are cramming a lot of hardware in such a small device. So I can see why that could have been a problem for many iPhone 12 and 13 mini users. But yeah, I can really feel the power that the A15 Bionic Chip has in here. I mean, it's loading apps up without a single sweat. Everything opens up instantaneously. There's not like a single lag spike I run into while texting or scrolling through social media, even while gaming. And of course, the camera on the 13 mini was by no means impressive. I mean, you have this dual 12 megapixel camera system for both the main and ultra wide lenses. Only 2 times optical zoom in out, digital zoom up to 5 times. Portrait mode was standard, portrait lighting, night shift, and all that good stuff was there. It wasn't anything incredible. It did the job well. Photos looked pretty good, I'd say. Sharpness isn't at an all-time high. The colors and saturation coming out of this pictures are decently vibrant. You had HDR video recording with Dolby Vision up to 4K at 60 frames per second. I usually had the phone set at 1080p at 30 frames per second to save on space. You got all the good stuff like time-lapse, true tone flash, slow-mo, But yeah, it wasn't anything special. And a pretty huge flaw about this phone, which you really can't blame because of its size, is its battery. They put a 2400 milliamp battery in here. It's really not that big here. I mean, Apple advertised it getting up to 17 hours of video playback, which is far from what they say. During its time, I had 2 friends with a 13 mini, and they were only able to get up to like 3 to 5 hours of usage, and that comprised of like texting, you know, video calling and watching some videos. So it drained fast, and it drained pretty dang well. I know I went almost like a full day. I think towards dinner time I had to reach for that charger because the phone was literally at like 2%. I will say though that it did charge really fast, okay? Accepted 20-watt charging. I mean, you had to charge this pretty often. You did also have the option for Qi or MagSafe wireless charging, but anything with a 20-watt charger, I plugged it in. It only took me around 80 minutes to go from 0 to 100 on a 20-watt charger. Anyways, do you guys care about the 13 mini? A lot of people moved on, I guess. There are bigger and better things out there. It's kind of sad to see that the small phone has unfortunately went away. I don't think we'll be seeing something similar like this for a while. If you do want to buy a new small phone, you gotta go with the iPhone SE, but that also has a home button to it, which some people may find good or bad, I don't know. Like I said, I made this video to see if there were any mini users out there, anyone that were just so interested to see a small iPhone go away. But tell me down in the comments if you do have a mini phone. Were you sad to see it go away? Were you planning to find one like this? What do you think about the phone size standard being around like 6 inches and all that? I mean, everything is just really large nowadays, I think, and that's good and all, but everyone has their own preferences when it comes to phones, so size does matter. But yeah, talk to me in the comments. Let me know what's up.